right, there it is. It's time to do. We did it. We did it. What's up, Justin?
Hello, Joe.
All right. What is this like? I'm trying to remember when the first time you were like, yo, dude, let me get on the podcast.
I said, let me get on the podcast when I had some weight to it. And now I just got bullied on because my friend Fabiola was on the last episode. And it was so funny. I don't know if anyone else caught like the outro to that. It was just, I was just like, all right, I guess I got to do it now. Yeah. I was dared.
Nah, so like I've never like wanted people to be like, oh, I gotta do this thing to like get on there. It's just like, and the thing that sucks though too, I think I kind of started walking towards that. Like a lot of the people that I had on were like, oh, like there's this like photographer and then a really cool tattoo artist and like there's all these people that like were in a profession, and then like I was like, oh wait,
that's
no,
like a
that's
good
not
segue to start. And it's just like, well, here we go. We're rolling.
We're rolling. But yeah, man, thanks for coming.
No, of course. Thank you for having me.
I got to start doing this. I'm probably going to do this for like the next two, just for the people that are used to seeing this on YouTube and on Spotify and whatnot. Yep. We stream this live now. It's live on twitch.tv/justjoyo. I think I link it on all those places anywhere, so like you can always find the link there. It's on my Instagram, it's on my Facebook, it's everywhere. Oh, I did that on purpose. It's fine though. So it's live. If you want to be a part of the podcast, like in chat and whatnot, you can do that there. Feel free to swing by whenever. The only thing that sucks is I don't have a schedule yet. So it's a lot of just like random, like whenever we go live, we're live.
Yep.
But now on to my guests that we can, I don't know if you want me to introduce you or you want to introduce yourself. I feel like it probably would make better sense for you to introduce yourself, but it would probably be funny if I introduced you. You should probably introduce yourself.
I just met off the street.
Found this dude. He's really cool. As I'm fixing my camera angles. So Justin.
Yes.
Who let the people know who you are.
Well, I'm Justin Rojas.
Okay, that's it.
Let's see. I former Army. I got out and then currently in school, just trying to figure it out because I didn't want to do it right after high school. Because it's just I was one of those kids that like didn't like to try unless I really cared about trying about something. If that made sense. So,
I get that. No.
My priorities weren't straight because like I had too many options. And I noticed that like when I have too many options, I default to the one thing or default to the one thing I'm comfortable doing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
that's natural though.
Yeah, but I feel like it's just like, damn, some people were able to turn that shit off real quick and like
do like focus,
bust it out. Like like granted, we all play like video games and stuff, and like it's just like I wish like someone helped me like learn how to like put down pause for like a few weeks or like a few years, and then like do whatever I want afterwards. But
yeah, I mean, it's weird because like when I was in high school, everything that I did was like I was going to the military. Like that, it was clear. Like I had at high, like in my senior year of high school, I had done 4 years of ROTC. Mm-hmm. I had spent 2 summers on Fort Jackson, like on the Army base there. Like it obviously, like the clear choice for me was to go into the military, and then I was just like, nah. So like right at the end.
That's so funny because like that's like son of like or son kids of cops that like they're supposed to like they're most, you would think they're the most disciplined, straight arrow. No, they're like the craziest people you would ever meet is kids of cops, like especially if they're 2 cops. Like oh my god,
dude. My mom was never like, she never like had a gun and a badge, but she worked in a lot of administrative fields in law enforcement. So like I grew up with that. My dad is a minister. He's like a preacher. So like you would think that, like everything was like, all right, Joe's like straight edge kid, like whatever. And I think for a long time that was me. But then like I think the nerdiest, this is gonna be the dumbest thing ever, but like what really kind of opened my eyes to some stuff was like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I used to, because I would travel and like go to different tournaments and stuff like all over the East Coast, and I'm like, oh, this is what fun is like.
I miss tournaments. We used to go to Atlanta all the time, dude.
And I love, dude, those long trips, even from South Carolina, like driving to like Atlanta and like driving down to Florida, like it was good times. But I don't. Have you? We can stay here for a bit before, because I do want to get into the whole military stuff. But like, have you played in any tournaments like recently? Like
the latest one I did was at the Hollywood location. And it was for the regional for.
Okay, so this is before
COVID. Yeah, right. It was literally like a month or two before COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
So like that was and we were supposed to go to Charlotte. Me and my roommate Nathaniel were supposed to go.
He's gonna get on here at some point. Oh, we're gonna bully him on here too.
No, he wanted to go during when you had Mike Sanders. And he wanted to really talk about like the hype of like the Black Lives Matter stuff and all that. So he'd be down to do it. So
I don't. You know what's weird is I don't see. Like, I guess obviously now I've seen like him. I follow him on social media and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But like, if you just meet Nate, I don't think you think like.
How politically enthused he is.
He doesn't seem that type.
He yelled at me and Haley, his girlfriend, for not going to register to vote for the and I was just like,
it's like, what? I can see Nate. I can see him. I can see him literally just like, you guys didn't vote?
You're not going to go vote for the. I was like, no, just.
Oh my god, that sounds hilarious.
I haven't voted since Obama, so it's like.
Yeah, I think, you know what, man? I know a lot of people have said this, but there's so much truth to it. Like, I think all the shit, it's bad. It's really bad. Mm-hmm. But like, the one good thing, people are going to like actually vote, I think. I think people who otherwise weren't voting before, 100% they will this time.
Change.
It's just so much shit that's just so wrong that people are just like, oh, that's what happens when I don't.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. But military. What was that like? I'm curious.
So I joined April of 2016. I went in as a 31 Echo, which is corrections. So the 31 code is like all forms of MP. So basically I went in as corrections because it was the shortest contract length. It was like all I had to do was 4 years, and I signed a signing bonus. So I was like, I wanted to go in and out. That was the plan, and just kind of like get the GI Bill, go to school afterwards, and figure out what I wanted to do. So initially, before I even thought about enlisting, because it took a while for me to even consider it, because my cousin was an MP, or he wasn't an MP, he was in the Marines.
Okay,
and he did that. He loved it. So like everyone in my family was like pushing me to do something. And, I didn't mind it because it was my decision to eventually do it.
Sure. Yeah.
I did 2 years. I got out a little early because I just didn't meet I didn't pass my APFT, which is the Army physical fitness test.
If you're okay with shit, what part did you fail on?
The run. The run is absolutely ridiculous. I'm 280 pounds. Running for me is I can't keep up with those like 140 little like twigs, dude. That's basically what the test was designed for, and it's just like
we did that that was my first year of college when I was like still doing the ROTC stuff. I went and did that, and it was pretty bad, but like it was doable back then for me. I think if you asked me to do that like 5 years ago, no fucking way. There's no way I could have done
Honestly, I wish I would have done it right out of high school. Like I wish I would have joined after high school. Like after I was in wrestling, like I was able to run all day. Like it didn't matter, it bothered me, but like just some like it just didn't have like the right techniques, the right training. Just like just tell you to just run, just do it, just suck it up. Like
you ever seen that meme of like run? But okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
and then so I was stationed over. I did my basic at Fort Leonard Wood, and then I got stationed over to Fort Leavenworth because there's only like X amount of places you can go as corrections.
Right.
It's only in Kansas, which is where Leavenworth is. Which I don't know, like if you ever watched like a military show or like any show where like there's like military criminals like doing illegal things.
Yeah.
They joke about not wanting to go to Leavenworth.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to Leavenworth. That's a real thing. Like,
damn. Okay.
And then there's other like detention centers across for X reasons. So like, let's say like you commit a crime overseas, you can get sent over to Germany or like or Korea.
Wait, so if you commit a crime overseas, you can be sent to a U.S.
military
like prison. A U.S. prison that's in another
until you're sentenced over or sent over to Leavenworth, pretty much. Yeah.
Why? So like, well, you say overseas. In my head, I'm thinking like, okay, say somebody
like if you're on tour, or if like you're on like
sure,
yeah.
But like, what if you're not in that country at all? Would you still?
You're still under UCMJ.
No. Okay, so I guess I might be asking this wrong. So like, if hypothetical, I guess if I am in, let's say, the UK, I'm on tour in the UK for whatever reason, I commit a crime, would send me to Germany for a
little bit?
Wow. Okay. Huh. But there's no same thing with. I guess it makes sense to have a U.S. thing in every country. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean that's like where sense, it is in like Europe, and then that's where you go in like.
Oh, is that Connor? I'm guessing that's Connor. What's up, dude? Sorry, I didn't mean to get. This is the weird thing with having this live and like being able to see chat and whatnot. Because so like ideally, I'd like to kind of get to a stopping point with like whatever we're talking about, and then like get you guys in. Like if you have questions, feel free to throw them in there while we're talking, and then we can hop over to them. But then I also get distracted by you guys.
Yeah,
and I just like see stuff. And I'm like, oh, I know this. As
long as I remember where we left.
Yeah. Because I'm.
So basically, it's just like I don't really, I guess, fully know how it works because like, unfortunately, like when my class came up for AIT, which is the basically the training for your job or your profession, it's you were able to go anywhere. So you're able to go to Washington because that's where the other prison is, well, it's been a while, but basically it's either Korea, Washington, Kansas, or Germany, and then eventually when you're in long enough, you're able to go to Guantanamo in Cuba. So that's like I
don't know if I would ever want to go there.
Honestly, everyone that's ever been to Cuba, and I talked to like my NCOs and stuff like that, they were like, "Yeah, sign me up. Like, I'll go right now." It's
just to go. I guess
you're there. Yeah. It's only like a year or so. It's like
that's too long, dude. I don't want to be. Fuck that. I do not want to be in Cuba for a year.
Yeah, because then you got to deal with like that's where the terrorists go.
Yeah, like why would you want? Like it'd be cool to like visit. Like if it was like a couple weeks, I'd be down.
That's your job.
Yeah, that's your job for a year. No,
and the stories they used to share, like people just throwing piss and shit at you.
Yeah, like
it's that even happens in like
sure.
I got stories for days. It's dumb. Like,
is that like a thing for like prisoners? Well, okay.
I don't know how other prisons like U.S. Like I assume they got their own like stories about like how people act, but like I remember one story in particular. I dodged a huge bullet. It was so funny, like not an actual bullet, but like, so my roommate, he wanted to switch shifts, and there's different positions we could do like in the jail. There's obviously Gen Pop, like you are stationed there to watch over the inmates for 8-10 hours depending on what you do. And then there's escorts where you're basically just like standing by while they're getting chow or out on the rec field, like you're just monitoring the whole time. So I was escorts that day, which is like the job you want because you're able to like walk around. You're not stationed at one spot for 8 hours. So he was literally bribing people almost to take a shift, and that was one thing we used to do. Was like, I'll give you $100 to take my shift, so I don't have to come to work today.
Damn.
And then he sweetened the deal. He's like, I'll give you 100 and you don't have to pay the internet for like 2 months. I was like, bad. That was like literally $140 easy. So I go to like, he had I think it was Kilo, because there's like 5 pods. Like, so our prison had like about 200 inmates, I guess, like 50 or 40 in each. And God, it was so bad. So we're doing count.
Okay.
So right before they go to dinner, we have to like make sure everyone's there so they can go, and then everyone comes back. But apparently someone in one of the other housing units was like saying that one of the inmates wasn't like going to the door, because you have to go up to the door, show your badge, verify who you are, even though we know who you are, but like, it's just a security thing. So he goes up and he's like, I can smell a weird smell. I need someone to come in here. Apparently one of the inmates, he was under what's called rec restriction. So he wasn't able to go out to hall or go out to the rec field and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And what he did was he took a shit in his sink, took shaving cream and mixed it in like the sink, and it wrote on the wall, Merry Xmas, with a smiley face. And guess who had to clean it up?
Oh, dude.
The escorts that day.
Why?
Because, well, they can't make the prisoners clean it up because, like, well, yeah, they could, but
I was about to say just make them clean up their own shit.
Because like, there is like a janitorial like crew that like
but like if they shit in there,
yeah. So like they literally gave like the escorts gloves and like a bucket and like a mop and like I guess some disinfectant to like fucking I guess clean it as best they could. But.
Wait, okay, so hold on. There's I have questions. So like, are the prisoners that you're escorting? Are other military personnel?
Those are former soldiers that committed crimes while serving in the military, yes. And that guy was psycho. That guy was complete nut. So
wait, but why?
So like,
I guess if he's like off his rockers, then
yeah. I honestly couldn't tell you what he was in there for. Like,
yeah,
if more knowledgeable or like fresh my head, I could, but like, because. We could pull it up or like go into control and find out like what they did or what they're in there for, but not really supposed to like or do that. But
I feel like that matters though, right? Like you should
not really, because like then it's like you're not supposed to treat them like discriminately. You're supposed to treat them all the same,
but
regardless of what they did. So like one could do something as simple or petty as like going AWOL, or one can like do something more like malicious, like touch a kid or something, and that's something that's like you're not supposed to like treat him differently than the kid than the guy that went AWOL.
So basically. you cannot treat someone differently, but also be knowledgeable of like what they did.
Sure, I mean people
watch your elbow.
Oh yeah.
I think it was gone. It looked like it could have just been a little bug or something. It was something, but So like my thing would be like I would want to know who committed like violent stuff, like violent crimes.
So in our prison, we were the JRCF, which is like the smaller prison. Like basically, people were sentenced from like no more than a week or no less than a week to up to no more than 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And then the USDB is where the lifers are. Like 10 years up, or you're not getting out.
So you know their sentence, you just don't know.
No,
what exactly.
Well, we could talk to them and find out what they did, or like if we cared enough. But you don't want to like build any rapport with them either. So it's like you don't necessarily want to talk to them outside of like whatever their needs are. So
like in my head, if I'm there, I want to know what the people that I'm dealing with did, so I know what to like. It's not necessarily to treat them differently, like it's more of like if this dude like ate someone, I would like to know that, right? I'm like, this dude might be chomping. Like if he's getting hungry, I need to know.
I mean, if someone did that, they're in max. Like they're not seeing people. Like you won't have a conversation with that dude.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Like in my head, I'm just like that. I feel like that's information.
There are some like wolves in sheep's clothing in some prisons, because like we also got the people that like that like went from the USDB to go to their court hearings or their trials, and I escorted some outside of the jail to their appointments, and like one of them crazy people. Like
I almost thought about changing the name of this podcast to Stories, because listening to people like I'm totally down for that. Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, okay. Well, aside from a guy that like that, well, I can't say like names because that's like technically obviously just
Yeah. But I am
that curious. Guy was one of the craziest, like the literally showing the wall,
shit guy,
like, yeah,
shit and shaving cream. Jesus, man, that's gross. Well, I remember you talked about like God, what was it? It was like the crew of people that you would go in to like forcibly move someone out.
Right, the force cell movements. My God, those are so much fun. So like the training you have to do for that. Because like in our company like hall, like where we have like our formations and stuff, you see like this it almost looks like a shed. Or the way it's built is like literally just 4x of like wood. It's just like almost like it looks like a separate room.
Okay.
Like, it's actually a mock cell. And that's where we do our training to forcibly move inmates from one cell to another if they're being uncompliant. Yeah. So basically, we go full gear, like as if we were about to raid the place.
Okay.
Shields, pads, everything. Like you look like a SWAT team basically going in there. And there's 5 people to a team. The first person is usually the biggest because they're the ones that are doing the first contact. Yeah, I was first man every time. There were some people as big as me and like more experienced, but like obviously I was going in first. So then we had the front man holds the shield, but then each person in a row has responsibilities for like limbs. But then again, like you're kind of don't know what's going to happen until after you're in. Yeah. But no matter what, the first person has to secure the head. So basically, like after you take down the inmate, you like the first person controls the head. 2 and 3 control arms, and like 4 and 5 control legs. And basically, you have to like position their head to where like they're not like fighting or like trying to like bite or like do anything else.
I would be super concerned about like biting
people that so like that actually did happen one point because one guy
to you,
not to me, but like to other like coworkers, like they would have to one guy did like had to get 4 cell moves, and he did it like on a monthly basis. Like almost every day there was something about that guy that he just wanted to just not go down easy. And he did bite like one, or like he like spat on someone, and he had to get like DNA checked because like you don't know if they have like STDs or anything. Or
when
like
you say riot gear, I'm thinking like,
oh yeah, we're like full face shields, everything. Like,
all right, then it's gross. Yeah, but I would imagine.
Well, I mean, like in a situation where like you don't have time to be able to do that, and you have to do it like right then and there, that you're more exposed. Like, you're ready for what you got. Yeah. So basically, just like we then like secure their arms, secure the legs, lift them up. Like all 5 of us would lift this person up, bring him out of the cell, check him, make sure he's good, do whatever we have to do, and then bring him to the other cell, put him back down, unsecure the restraints, and then stack on top of him. It would be me, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically 5 people are smushed on this guy where he can't go. And then I tell him, don't move until we're out of this cell. And if you do move, then we're going to have to come back in here and do it again. Yeah. So then, basically the last person pulls us all out at the same time. We close the door, and then that's it. That's the 4-cell move. Man, I used to have like videos of it and stuff too, but like it's just stuff that like I lost on my other phone. And
this is why
I do have pictures of me wearing some of the gear.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We were like
going in. I guess we can always put it in front of the camera. I need a producer real bad. Because to pull up that kind of, I would love to roll, ready, like pull up those kind of videos and stuff. I need a Jamie for my podcast.
So like that's just like a simple picture right there of like.
You know what? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get this, because this is gonna be weird. I'm gonna have to like. It's your boy.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh. Oh man, you weren't at work today, were you?
I was at work. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw you. Yeah. I don't know why I forget.
So like we were like that helmet's not like usually the standard one. We were in the LMTV, and like this is like more like we were just doing it based on the gear that we had on. Like the full battle gear is like actual like blacked out, like like almost like motorcycle helmet kind of like set up. So it's just I don't have anything on me with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I mean, it honestly, it was just like any other job. It was the issue with like that job in particular, though, was like, imagine having a full-time career, which is that, and then the army on top of that. So like, it was like you were working double jobs, because like after we would do full 8, 10, 12-hour shifts in the prison, we would have to do army stuff.
Oh wow!
Like PT.
You would imagine that would be like
and like army paperwork on top of that. Yeah.
Wow.
5 days a week. Like, if you were lucky, you got 2 days off.
That sounds insanely unfair.
But that's the thing, is like, that's the thing about one of those jobs. It's like, I would like, it builds character real quick. But the issue with that too is like, you have 18, 19-year-olds that are fresh out of high school going to those jobs that like they haven't worked a day in their life, and like they're in this thing. It literally breaks people. Like, some people like did not last.
I often think about that with like military and like police force and stuff. Like, a lot of the people that end up taking those kinds of jobs are like, they probably shouldn't be taking those type of jobs. And by the time you would have somebody old enough and probably more mature enough to do it, they aren't gonna be doing a job like that either. So like, it's weird. It's hard to find the right type of person for a gig like that.
Yeah, because you have to do. No, like, our AIT was only like 7 weeks too. Yep. Imagine being taught like how to train or how to like run a prison in only 7 weeks.
Yeah, like,
with army stuff on top of that. So like, yeah, basic is supposed to teach you all the army stuff, and then this is supposed to teach you all the prison stuff, and it's like, it's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's just on the job training is real needed on that.
I guess you don't need to go into detail with it, but like, did you have like any moments of like not breaking, but like he's like, oh yeah, actually I did. Like, because the thing, and I don't like to compare this, because like ROTC and actual military stuff is not the same.
No. Well, from what I understand, like, ROTC is supposed to help you train to academically be more proficient in kind of like that aspect. So like,
we did a lot of physical stuff though.
Yeah, like, but they're training you to be leaders. They're not training you to be like grunts, which is what enlisted are. Enlisted are like, we're just working. We're the gear, the cogs in this machine. Gotcha. You're the ones that are running it. Like, you're the ones supposed to be like telling us what to do, kind of thing. So because like cadets usually go to straight up lieutenants.
Yeah, they go or officer.
Yeah. So that's why they're not enlisted like us. Like, where we start as privates into NCOs. Like, we have to. Yeah.
I think if I literally had like if I could pause my life right now, go back to like fresh out of high school, Joe, I would want to do it just for the experience, and then come back to current Joe and just be like, continue going on.
I do strongly recommend, even though it wasn't for me, or like it didn't work out for me because of like my own personal reasons, to try it. Like, there's no downside to enlisting.
The time, I think that was for me. I'm spitting. Oh, for me, that was the biggest thing, was time.
Yeah,
like I would look at it and I'd go, okay, so I would be taking 4 years, like a 4-year chunk out of my life to do this thing. And I guess now, older me, 4 years is not that long. But back then, I had all these goals in my head. I was like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And taking 4 years seemed like such a large amount that I just didn't, I don't know. But yeah, I would like to go back and experience that, because the stuff that I did experience, like while I was on base, like I was in Fort Jackson, like was it all good? No. But I, like you're saying, like the character building from stuff like that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff has stuck with me throughout the entirety of my life. Like,
yeah, it definitely like shaped my like view on life.
Yeah, or like it shapes the way you deal with like high pressure situations. And I even like in small day, like I've worked like small retail, and like when things suck, I see the way that other people who haven't had like that kind of like curriculum, how they deal with it, and the way that I deal with it. Not to like toot my own horn or anything, like, but like I just think there's something that clicks in your head where it's like, oh, shit's hitting the fan. I was like, all right, cool. All right. So like you kind of start in my head, and I guess you can compare it to like you and like what you do. But like when stuff like that happens, whether it's at work or like not at work, when I'm just like, okay, things are about to suck. All right, let's like cut this down into like pieces. And I'm like, okay, so if I do this, this won't suck as bad. If I do this, this won't suck as bad. But this is more important. So I'm going to move this over here and do that first. And like, that's within seconds. Yeah. Like it's so quick that you
problem solving.
Yeah.
How to de-escalate 10 high situations. That's so
twice now in the past 2 shifts that I've been in work where I was just like, oh, this person's an idiot. Okay.
Time to defuse this.
He's upset. All right, cool. I will say though, like I think my patience with that has kind of worn off over the years. Where like I don't care about de-escalation as much as I used to when I was younger. Now it's more just like, no, you're stupid, and like here's why you're stupid. Here's the 10-page essay as to why you're an idiot. So, which I probably shouldn't do, but it is what it is.
I mean, sometimes that like helps them snap into like to like change habits, because like unless you get yelled at or like that's usually something that like doesn't sink in. So like
customers. I don't want to say that because can I say that?
No, it's
I think whatever my next move is, it can't be with customers. I don't want to deal with customers anymore. I'm done with it. It's so over it. I don't know. It's just too much. But we got a couple questions in chat at this point. I don't know if we want to start from the top. The first one's a funny one because it's not really a question, but it's good. Ari 824 says, let's talk about these females.
I was gonna bring that up because we had mentioned the speed dating thing, and now with like Florida being in danger of locking down again, I don't know if like that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good idea now, but I do still want to do it.
Of course. I think
it'd be super fun. And since talking about it, like there's so many of our friends that are like, yeah, I want to do it too. Like I'm down. I'm like, all right, so what is it going to just be like us speed dating each other because we're all going there at the same time? We can't.
That's what I told Fabiola because I was joking about that. I was like, you do realize like you will date me and Joe at one point. It's just like we can't just pass that.
Yeah,
it's not break time like we're trying to woo.
That would actually be very funny, and I wish. Like obviously it's a private thing and I couldn't record it, I couldn't stream it or whatever. But I really want to. I want to so bad. That's why I was at the end of Fabi's thing. I was thinking about no, it wasn't Fabi's, I think it was actually Leia's, that I was talking about like, oh, it'd be cool to put like make a dating show kind of thing that I could stream live on Twitch. Which would be pretty funny.
Just have a GoPro on you. Just like...
Oh, no, it wouldn't be on me. So, like, I would be the host. I would have nothing to do with it. And I would just watch people cringe.
Honestly, I feel like if you honestly just got enough people, like a good ratio of people to, like, just to do that, that would actually be a funny skit. It'd be like...
But the thing is, I want it to be real.
No, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, imagine finding, like, 4 single guys, 4 single females.
Yeah.
And then see who can match up. In that, like,
I think I can do this.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I think I know enough. I know enough guys, like single guys and women.
Oh, of course, well, guys, yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, easy guys. Literally, there's I could stand outside and be like, "Yo, you single? Yeah, I figured you." If I can, but oh man, I get a couple of people for my gym.
Because like for me,
that'd be awesome.
For me, it's like I don't think I sound good on paper. Like in the sense of making like a dating profile for like a dating app, like I'm so boring on paper. I take terrible photos.
Yeah,
I feel like if I like were to sell myself, oh yeah, that's it. It's game over. Like I got it. Like
yeah.
Because like one of the things in Kansas, because like there's not much to do in Kansas because we're in the middle of nowhere.
It's Kansas.
It was literally either you were shut in and like you just played video games all day, or you went out and you partied.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, you used to like party with like your NCOs and like people you weren't necessarily supposed to. Because,
yeah.
But like it's one of the things where he's like you have to just to build like trust and like make sure you weren't like a loser, like or like the crazy one. You were the crazy one if you didn't party with the NCOs, But yeah, we used to go downtown and oh man, Kansas City is a really nice city.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if I was more like I guess brave enough to like travel on my own or like live on my own, I would I would consider Kansas. It was really I enjoyed the scenery. Like it's just
I do miss that from the Carolinas. Is like mountains and hills and stuff, and like actual like kind of outdoorsy kind of things. Like, here you have like off-roading, swamping beaches.
I'm just not redneck enough to like
it's like I don't mind fishing I can do that. I can get behind some good fishing and like hanging out with some beers and whatnot,
on a
but
boat.
Like
yeah
like that's cool, but like I have no desire to go through a swamp. Like there's some like cool like park trails here, but like that's about it. Ari says, so where are we doing the speed dating thing? Because see, there's one. We found one. There it is. We got it.
That's like an elaborate script to write. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I want to. So I think I know some single girls, but I don't know if they'd be down to do it. Maybe they would be. I know one that definitely would, 100%, and she'd have a blast doing it. But the other ones that come to mind, I don't know. I have to send out like a ABP, like, hey, who's down to do this?
Yeah.
I
guess back to the point of like,
selling yourself,
and like partying and stuff. Like, so it was. I was leading up to it. So like one of the places we used to go to all the time was called Throwback, and that was like one of my favorite clubs. Like we would like, it literally did what it said. It played like older songs, like random like Jackson 5, like all the way to like Drake and like whoever was big at the time.
All right.
And then there was other places too that we had to go to, but that place was where I was like, it was just I was getting girls like almost, I wouldn't say every night, but like just like it would be easy to like, because it was also connected to a karaoke bar called Off Key.
Okay,
and that was,
these are great names. By the way.
It was, they did a really good job. Yeah, it was good. It was fun times. I do miss clubbing too, because COVID sucks now and I can't go out to downtown.
We're not that. We're only 2 years apart age-wise, I think. Right?
I'm 27. Yeah. I had my birthday. You went to my birthday.
Yeah.
That was good.
I don't think I'm ever going to another club again in my life.
Interesting.
Ever. It has nothing to do with COVID. I just hate that scene. I'm such a like.
It's really bad going there sober. Like you have to already either pregame or like feel like.
Dude, okay, so like
dealing with people,
we're going to talk about these females now.
Okay,
so like if I'm going to a club, there's two reasons. Either A, I'm going to just literally have fun, not really looking for like to hook up with anybody or like meet anybody.
And that's usually when they swarm. And then when you do actually have the intention of trying to find someone, that's when it's like
that's the universe fucking you
crickets,
over. Yeah, but so like, those are the only two reasons. The problem is like. The only one that can be fun is the first, where you just literally go in there to enjoy yourself, especially if you have a decent group of friends to go do it with.
Yeah.
That can be fun, but all it takes is for one of those people to find somebody else, and then the whole dynamic is off, because now everybody's like pitching for this guy or girl, like whoever you're with.
If they were a good friend, they would make sure that they someone that has friends.
Okay,
and
but that's not fair.
What do you mean that's not fair?
That's not fair. So like to me, that's not fair, because like if somebody actually genuinely finds somebody that they vibe with, like they get along with, I don't think that the friend code really should stop that.
No, and that's fine. But I mean, like initially, let's say like the game plan was in sync with the same thing. Like you go in there with 3 guys, you want to try to find there's a group of 3 girls. There's no way there isn't.
Sure.
Or like you find one and then find 2 more. Like then at that point you break off. But like that's the thing. It's like. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. That whole dynamic, even just you saying that just now, like in my head, I was like, "Fuck that! I want nothing to do with that whatsoever."
I have found it kind of fun just having like do that or wingman or challenge.
It's not fun to me. It's annoying.
Yeah,
like the whole dance of like dating and flirting and kind of like flirting, I guess, can be fun. Like flirting can be a lot of fun, but like the dance of like just the first early starting things of relationships to me, I'm just like,
and trying to get to know someone when like like blasting music is happening. It's just not.
Yeah, just like this is the worst possible thing. But the flip side of that is though, like there's not really a version of that for like introverted people. There's not like, because by nature you're introverted, so like you don't go out and do things. So I don't know. I have nothing against people that go out and do that stuff, obviously, but like it's not for me, man.
I just feel like you need like the good balance. Like I feel like if like let's say you drag someone out to they're reluctant to, if you had enough people that like had enough energy to like make it a good time regardless, then like it'll eventually like I guess work out. But like eventually if you're just so against it, then
I'm sorry. This is the problem with chat. This is what happens when people are fucking funny and calm. Fucking that garbage game. Oh man, my bad. Yeah, maybe you might. So like I think the other problem is like for me when I did it, it was 0 or 100. Like so like,
and that's usually how it is.
Yeah, like so like there would be some times where I would go to like. We would go to like a pool bar or something like that, and we go hang out, shoot pool, and have a blast. But then like we would meet like a couple girls or whatever, and like things would get weird. And then by the end of the night, I was just like, that was a shit time. Like I feel I'm like I spent 5 hours there, and I could have spent 5 hours doing literally anything else, and having like by the end of the night having a better time.
Yeah, that's right.
Or it's the polar opposite where I always forget the name of this club. But it's in Orlando, like downtown area, and you'll go there and have a good time. You might know what I'm talking about. There's a club that has like they have like pole dancing, like stripper poles essentially in the second floor of it. Like there's a club like at the bottom, and then
I don't know which one it is, but
I had a blast there. That place was awesome. That was a good time. Like it was awesome. I went there while I was dating somebody, and like she went with us, but that was a good time. But yeah, man, I even think back on like even the nerdy shit where you would assume like more introverted people would be, like conventions and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever been to that kind of thing. Like
the only one I guess not the only one. I've been to like I went to one in Kansas called Planet Comic Con, but then aside from like going to PAX, that was the only other one I went to.
So PAX, I went to PAX East. I forget what year it was. That was fun, but I feel like I was still very. What is the word? I was very bad with women, and that's even saying that seems wrong. Like that's not exactly it. It was just
It's kind of like hard to initiate conversation off. Like
back then, I guess I was more shy.
Yeah.
So like there was moments. What it was PC. It's this. I don't know if I still have. If you ever see me walking around with my keys, that lanyard that I have on there, it's from the after party that we had at PAX East, where the company PC Gamer I found this out after the fact, but they essentially rented out a strip club and turned it into like a gamer theme like club where they had like these girls dancing in like cages and stuff, and like it was a good time, but like there was a point where like I was fucking just wasted, and like I was running around getting a bunch of girls, and we were just making like this human train. It was a good time. It was funny, and like my friend's ex-fiance has some great pictures. I don't know where they are. My friend might have them still. I have to talk to Mark and see if he still has them. But yeah, it was that kind of stuff is fun, but also like when I'm done with it, me thinking back on it is just like, that sucked. That was a really weird, bad night. I don't ever think of it as like, oh, I had like a good time. I was just like, oh, what the fuck did I do? But I don't know. It might just be the way I look at that stuff. But that was literally the first question, and we spent like probably way too long on it. But let's see here. I think You already answered the what's the craziest person. One of these days I'm gonna have a bot that puts all this stuff in a sheet for me. Damn it. Maybe I'm skipping over questions here. What's that?
If Fabi hears I'm going, she'll go. Oh. Thanks, Connor. Yeah, we know that.
Man, I want to do I have to figure out a way to do that because that's too good not to. That's too funny.
Oh, she'll do it. 100% Fabi would do it.
But would they do it if they knew it was streamed? That's the question. That's what makes it hard.
Sure. Yeah,
I think Fabi would.
Yeah, she's already been on the stream. It's over now. She's you popped the cherry. It's over. It's done.
So Fabi and I think Leia would.
Oh yeah, Leia 100% would do it. Just for she would just make fun.
I feel bad for the dudes that would.
She probably want to date the girls too.
Oh yeah. I feel bad for anybody that gets paired with her because it's gonna. Oh man.
Because that's the thing is if we were to make this let's say a sitcom, that was the episode where we decided to go with, she would be the one person who would take all the girls and all the guys would be like,
all right, well, fuck.
Yeah, we just lost. That's it. It's game over. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is too good to do. Okay, I gotta figure out. Man, any girls in chat that looking to do this? I mean, fucking find two more girls.
Just literally about anything you can. I always answer the question on the bottom.
Oh yeah, so. Didn't know it was a question stream. I will try to come up with one. Are they questions on a specific topic or anything? Anything, dude. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You can literally throw anything in there. We'll get to it.
As honestly and as less embarrassingly
within as TOS as we can. Speaking of TOS, that Leia stream to me was I love having her on because it's super fun. I love hanging out with her. Mm-hmm. But every time I do anything with her, I'm like, this is it. This is gonna be the one that gets my channel suspended for a week or something like that. I'm gonna say something, she's gonna say something. I'm like,
there's no filter,
but it's so good.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Oh man,
even at work now when it's it's teetering, it's it's just so hard to it's no one's here to listen.
Oh man, I when she gets her stuff going because she started streaming and everything, I want to do maybe a monthly or bi-monthly thing with her where instead of just me kind of hosting stuff, where it's just me and her hosting something, just drilling into somebody. Oh man, I don't know. Let's hit up a gamer bar when we don't have to worry about COVID. All right, so I've been to a couple gaming bars around here, and they don't seem like ideal places to meet people.
Yeah, well, no, you can meet people, but if you're trying to date someone, good luck, because the reason why the females are there is because their boyfriends and husbands
or
are
they
there.
work there,
or they work there. Yeah, they're not. They've been hit on all day.
Yeah. I don't know. I went to Player One a couple times. It's cool. It's fun, but you're not meeting anybody there. Yeah, that's not happening.
I will say I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
One of the cheesiest pickups I did was and I got her Instagram out of it. She was one of those servers that the ones that walk around with the shots.
Yeah.
And you had to just buy a shot from them. So I was like, okay, hey, how much is it for a shot with you?
Okay.
And she's like, oh, with me? I can't really drink. I'm like, no, how much is a shot with you?
Yeah.
She's like, oh damn, that was really good. And I was like, yeah. So then nothing came of it because I was one of those it was cute for the moment.
Yeah, but I got nothing after that.
Yeah, try to DM her and was nothing. So I was like, whatever, it's fine.
Oh, man, I'm shit at that kind of stuff, man. Usually what happens is I'm just very forward, or I'll just be like, yeah, I'm interested in you. Not in a friendship kind of way. I'm a very I will just lay things out.
So I do have an awkward story with that too.
Oh,
it's yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
So for me, so for me, it's when I was trying to break out of my shell, because if people know me, I'm a very to myself person. I don't I guess I'm more bashful. I'm more I'll speak if spoken to or kind of thing. I won't speak necessarily out of turn.
I feel you have both sides of that coin.
But the other side, yeah. So the other side is that I am very confident in what I say, but usually that's before I think and filter what I'm going to say.
After you're
before,
just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I can't call that back. Yeah, I can't recall that. But so basically one of the girls I met at Throwback, we made out a little bit towards the end of the night, and one of those things happened where like one of the guys didn't get with any of the girls, wanted to leave early, and I was like, damn, you're literally pulling me away. I have a chance, and it's like, So I
hate to be that guy, but like also,
and I was when I drove too, so I had to like drive him back. So I got her on Snapchat.
Okay.
So a week later, she had like a house party.
Okay.
And she invited me over there, so I went. The thing was like, some in my head, because I was still like to believe like you had to be in a relationship to like proceed any kind of like. Okay. In my head, to do any kind of thing, and I was just like, for some reason, I just couldn't get out of my head until after like it just. Eventually, I learned that just that's not the case.
Yeah.
So she was just like, "Oh, so what are you looking for? Like, what do you want to do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It depends on you. What do you want to do?" And I was just
possible.
Trust me, I know. Yeah, I just couldn't read the room. I could. I as much as I wanted to say, I just wanted. Well, yeah, I wanted you.
Yeah, I was like, the answer is just you. So like, there's nothing.
So the thing is, like, I just couldn't just say it. Just do that. Just do it.
Done the exact same thing.
And then she was just like, at that point, like, she didn't even want me like there anymore. And then she was like, "Oh, hey, I'm thinking we're gonna call it a night. Yeah, I'll walk you to your car and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, okay." All right, so after that, I did see her again at the club, and I tried to explain like what I was thinking, and she's like, "Oh, you're too nice of a guy, like, and plus I'm married." And I'm like, "Whoa, like, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's out on tour, and like I just was looking for someone just to hook up with, and And I was like, "Oh, well, all right then. Well, nice knowing you, I guess." So it's just like, damn, it's just like, wow, that really happened. Like, I'm just like, whoa.
Every time I hear stories about that, half of me gets irrationally angry because it's like, okay, so this dude is getting shot at.
Yeah. Or just miserable somewhere.
Yeah, just hot like desert fucking, place. Yeah. And you're
granted, she was obviously like, that's the issue, was like it was a young marriage. She was like maybe 20.
Don't fucking marry him. I don't know what to tell.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. It's like, so it happens so often.
Yeah,
it's not even a joke, especially in the military. It's just like people marry so young because like they think they met the love of their life at 20. And then like some people have like girlfriends, boyfriends before they get stationed somewhere, and that's the thing, is like when they finally get settled, they're like, all right, come over, we'll get married, blah blah, and then we'll live our lives happily. 6 months later, it's gone. A year later, done. It's like, damn, like
that.
And then even people, NCOs do tell them, hey, like, just take your time, don't rush into it, and then
they do it anyway. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know,
those stories are real.
That just seems.
But let's go ahead and
we got some more questions.
Yeah, there was one question that I feel bad for not answering. Right
okay. No. Do you remember who said it? Who asked it?
It was that one right there.
Okay. Okay. So I've been. Oh, okay. So this is from Hannah Thanatos. I've been watching a random ghost hunting thing recently where one person believes in ghosts and the other thinks it's all BS. Where do you both stand on it?
Unfortunately, not unfortunately, Bleach is one of my favorite series.
Bleach. All right, we're starting off with anime.
Okay. Here's to go into like my take on it. I believe like, sure, like a presence can exist past afterlife.
Yeah.
And it depends on like how you treat it. So like if you treat them as like a positive influence, they'll always be with you. If you forget about them, then they, unfortunately, that's just with time. Like eventually people are forgotten, unfortunately. It's not that you fully forgot them, it's just like they can't really do much in your life currently, and it depends on the impact on that. So I feel like it just depends on your view on it. I don't believe there are like premonitions that we can't physically see unless we have like UV lights. Like, I don't believe in that, but I believe like their spirit can be with you based on your motivation or ideals of them.
Okay.
So
that
if that is like a fair like point.
No. So like I don't think that I the whole Bleach thing, that's just me giving you shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't think that I think any opinion on something like this is like you it's kind of hard to like
please everyone with it.
Yeah, like
someone's going to be like, you're crazy. Why are you
you're an insane person. No, I don't. Where do I fall on that? I feel like do I believe in stuff like Blair Witch and things of that nature? No. But I think there is a spiritual kind of thing, and I say that very weirdly because like I feel like when I say spiritual, it's very closely related to like religious, and it's not. I don't think that the two are like have anything to do with each other. I think it's more of like, okay, so like if you understand like the laws of like energy and whatnot, like energy doesn't go away. Like it changes its form, but it never just is gone, right? So like, I think that kind of is the same way that people are, because we are in some sense both creating and using energy. Like we are a force of like energy. So like, I think there's some form of that persists after your physical body has stopped moving. Because like, again, energy doesn't just go away. Like it has to go somewhere. It has to do something. So I don't know. That's my thought. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I feel like I feel like you still persist in some way that way. But what else we got in here? No. I've heard God of High School is decent. Is that an anime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess they mentioned on aliens and Bigfoots, etc.
There has to be some kind of
some other life form exists. That statistically that doesn't make sense
out there or something.
Yeah. Like where there's some
parallel like universe.
I don't know about the parallel thing, because like the parallel thing would mean that like there is another me somewhere doing
in a
something.
Different space.
Which that feels like.
Well,
if things are infinite, then sure, yes. But like as far as that universe having any effect on the one that I'm in, that doesn't make that can't be. But I think 100% there's other life forms that it'd be crazy for there not to be, right? Like I don't know, but like Bigfoot and stuff like that, I'm a big pass on that. Like the whole Nessie and things of that nature is like, these are just shit photos. Like I don't know. Like, do you think you agree with that?
Yeah, because it's just like, what is that like? If you throw someone in the swamp long enough, like, are they going to turn to a Bigfoot, a swamp man? Like, possibly, I guess. Well, like, they're going to die before that.
Yeah. Well, have you ever heard about that? I think it was a Vietnamese soldier who was behind enemy lines in a jungle, and he had stayed there way past the war being over.
Yeah.
Like substantially past, like decades. And he had just lived out there in the jungle. And when someone found him, he was like freaking out and like thought they were like an enemy or whatever. And they were like, "Nah, dude, what year do you think it is?" And like they were like, he was like, "Oh, I think it's like this." And they were like, "Nah." Like, we got cell phones, dude. And like, he was so like in that mindset that like, in order for him to believe it, they had to find his like commanding officer who had retired like years before. But yeah, like he it was pretty interesting. It's a good read. I think there's a book about it too. But they did eventually actually get his commanding officer, who's like growing fucking gray hair and everything. He's like, "Yo, dude, check this shit out. I got fucking AT&T. Like, and the dude's like, what? And he's like, yeah, these dudes, we lost that war like 20 years ago. Like, it was pretty cool.
It's like he didn't get caught in like the napalm strike or some shit. Yeah.
That's what people were concerned about, because he had like traps and shit set up around like where he was just like living. So like they're like, hey, so we not trying to die. Can we like just like tell us where this stuff is? Oh man. 2020 is a full on simulation. Hey,
it's I feel like it's just the, you know, like we didn't, you know, the Y2K thing. This is like the blowback. This is like us making fun of like that. It's like, you know, the internet is gonna take over. It's like now we got like fucking just diseases and like other world-ending things happening. Mine's got it wrong. The 2012 wasn't.
Yeah,
2020 was like the.
They fucked up with that one. It's a 0, and it's on the other side, dude. I think, man, it's weird to think this way, because like we live in Florida.
Yeah,
Florida's pretty bad right now. Like, it's really bad right now. Literally, I remember the last couple podcasts I have. Somebody was like, "I can't believe you're doing a podcast. They're so close to you." Like, and I was like, "No, it's fine. Like, these people are not sick. I'm not letting someone come in my place that's sick."
I do have a negative test result.
He does have a negative test result. It's okay. But I feel almost guilty, because like my life has gotten better since this whole thing, like substantially better, and I don't know how to feel about that, because like everyone else's life seems to be going to shit. So like I've gotten really close with some friends because of this whole thing, and it's been great. I've been able to keep training MMA, and I've been loving that. Shout out to the jungle.
Not sponsored yet.
And get some of those tie shorts and like, do some of these things with the tie shorts on. Things for me right now are pretty good. Like, I'm looking to adopt a dog right now. Like that. I'm very excited about a future Appa. I can't wait till he's on here, man. Like, people are gonna see him. Like, maybe I'll be like one of those streamers with their little puppy on stream. But yes, I was furloughed or whatever, and it sucks. Yo, oh, Corey's not here. Okay, I gotta do this myself. All right, okay, all right. Let me get you in here. I'm gonna do the big old purge. But dude, really, this is what happens. I need more mods. All right, I'm just gonna ban them. Sorry, bud. Get out. But yeah, things are good. Things are good for me right now, and I know things suck for everyone else. So like, to come to terms with that is kind of weird, you know? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's the same for other people. Like, is anyone else like?
I mean, it hasn't really changed for me, because I've been like, not to say this is a bad thing, but people have been like, you know, not working, but like I haven't stopped working since, you know, this whole thing. And
I guess like, so I was furloughed from my main job, but even then, like, I started doing Uber Eats and stuff. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, you make a fucking lot of money doing Uber Eats. Like, it's not like it's not. I remember doing it, thinking like, all right, well, this will be cool. I did
used to Uber too when I was in the army as like a side game too. It was like, it was actually a lot of fun. It was like,
I didn't mind, like, the driving around and waiting kind of sucks, but like, if you find a good time spot where like it's just going.
Oh yeah, no, I went like when I didn't decide to go out. Like for myself, I went out like on drives picking people up from like downtown. Like, you get rapid fire like drops or like rides.
What's up, Fabi? Yeah, I got like, I'm just thinking of like all these things. Like I got these tattoos I'm really stoked about. I got some more coming, which I can't wait to do those. Like, I don't know. I also do the thing though, when things are really good, I'm already thinking of how things go south. Like my brain just does that. So like,
no,
I know things are awesome right now. I'm like, how is this gonna get fucked up? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, is it you? You gonna fuck this up for me? Like, get the fuck out. I don't know. I do that, but how have, I guess, COVID things been for you? Like, is it
aside from like one scare? That, I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, it just lived my life.
Life has been normal.
Like I do take the precautions of like not excessively going out or wearing a mask, sanitizer, wash your hands. Yeah, like do the simple, basic. Adapt. Like that's basically the first thing they teach you in the army is like adapt and overcome. Like this to some people is like the end of the world. Oh, I have to wear a mask out when I'm not normally wearing a mask. Like, oh well, like it's not just for you; it's for everyone else around you. So
oh man,
Fabi, you missed all the shit talking.
So much shit about you. It was great. It was a good time. You missed it. Now you got to go back to watch the VOD.
I think anytime like bad stuff like this happens, I think about like what are the negative impacts that it's gonna have, and what are the like positive stuff. And I feel like besides the financial economic kind of hit, I think people don't realize that hasn't hit yet. That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of stuff that like I don't think people realize is gonna be pretty bad. It's like, so we'll take like housing market for a little bit. So all the people. Which I've noticed there's a lot more homeless people now. And I like, obviously we know why. Like if people lose their income and they can't adapt, maybe they don't have a car, they were reliant on like public transportation or whatever. So they don't have a car, so they can't do Uber Eats. They can't do like something quick from home or something of that nature. Those people are fucked, man. Like, and they can't just go get another job. Like that's not super easy for them to do. But like back to what I was saying, like the housing market has plummeted. Like if you looked at like a house right now, or like trying to buy like any type of condo or property, whatever, it's getting so cheap. And while that's cool right now, it's gonna be really bad when it flips. Same thing with like stocks, stuff like that. A lot of people are talking about like stock market stuff right now, and fair. Like whenever there's like a tragedy or like a crisis or something like that, it's a little opportunistic, and I'm sure that it kind of, especially if you have like morals that are against that, I can see why people would be upset about it. But like business wise, it's pretty fucking good. It's a good gamble.
To flex the money,
it's a good gamble to make. But all these stimulus checks and all this talk of like all this money that's coming from like the government, I'm like, printing money is bad. Like that's not good. That's the thing though. Cash is king until the cash has been printed everywhere and everyone has it, and the value of it goes down. Like, I don't know.
When a peso is worth more than the US dollar, we're fine.
Like, it's like, at that point, like, it's not good. But I try not to think too much about that because that's very, it's very.
I don't think Pappy knows who that is.
That's the best part. That's my favorite part. Okay. Then she'll figure it out later. I got my condo at $40K. Its value was close to $100K before all this shit, and now I have no idea what it's at. I imagine it's probably lower, but probably not close to $40K. Well, I wouldn't say close to $40K, but like it's not under $40K. It hasn't dropped that bad yet. The trend though looks like things are getting like they're still going down. So is what it is. But yeah. 2020 for me, it feels like we're halfway through it. Are we halfway through it? Halfway through it,
a little half past. Yeah.
Like, I kind of feel like it's already over, even though it's not. Obviously,
I mean, let's see what's happened. Like the first few months of it was just like it seemed like it was going to be nice because like nothing happened in January. It was like typical, like post New Year thing, and then
that's weird. I don't even.
And February was when it was like the end of February is when shit was like getting like
really
low. Yeah.
I guess things were like just picking up in my life, so I didn't even realize it like at that time.
Because then March is when it was like people were losing their minds.
Yeah, March was when things kind of sucked. March was it? I'm trying to remember which month I got furloughed. I think it was April. Yeah, it was April. Yeah. Because I had started. Yeah, I had started training in January, and I had just gotten into that. And yeah.
It's the August 1st. Yeah, that's a
Mega Wolfie says we'll see August 1st when all the federal rent protections expire. Yeah. I expect to see a lot more homeless people, and I don't know what the government hasn't even talked or said anything about that kind of stuff. Like it's probably not on their radar at all. All right, so we've talked about some sad stuff. We've talked about some ridiculous shit. Top 5 anime.
Ooh,
let's get it.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
People are like, actually, this is the serious shit now.
Yeah,
like this, all the other stuff was irrelevant. Here
damn.
We're about to get into some weeb territory just for those. Like, I know not.
I don't think anyone can like really see the shirt I'm wearing. So I will say, like, even though like people give this series so much crap or shit, it's like it's what started it all. Like, you know, or not necessarily all, but like definitely just one of the best. You can't deny it.
So okay, while we're going through this and we're gonna be talking about this for a bit, everybody post their top 5 so we can see it. Yeah, I want to see everybody else's top 5 and then we can critique your.
Are we doing both manga and anime, or just in series in general?
We're gonna get to manga. We're gonna start at anime. So anime, we're just anime for right now. Top five anime.
If you watch it,
if you watch it, if you don't, obviously if you don't watch it,
some people barely have 5.
Like I got 1, dude. Like, no movies. Yeah,
series. movies are separate. Like, animated movies are like
no movies, just series, just seasons, episodes, things like that.
Bleach on top 5, easy.
In top 5, dude.
Especially coming back soon. Unless I got pushed back, but
I don't know about that, man.
So for me, it was like, you know, it was part of the
where
big
in
3.
the top 5? Is it 5? Is it
it's
5
not number 1. It's definitely not. Yeah, it's on there. It's just I don't know where to put it because like for me, it's like I base it like on its tenure, like basically an ongoing series and like series that like had an impact. So like it's so hard because there's so many that had like an impact that I can't necessarily put it just on a top 5. Like I would say like most memorable, I would give it to like obviously FMA Brotherhood. It has to be number up there. It's up there, but it's like
I think in
terms of like story and writing, it's like
the anime I've seen has just been so maybe niche. So like when I think of like what is a good anime series to me, it I'm looking for like really good story moments that like invoke some kind of emotion. Sometimes it's like excitement, like oh my god.
So One Piece number 1. So let's just say that because
One Piece is pretty good.
It is best selling.
Yeah,
and will be the highest grossing until it dies. But I mean, let's see what else.
Ooh, okay. Somebody about to get roasted. I saw
Yu number 1.
He put that in there. That's I don't know about that, but we'll get
Sword Art is listen. As
don't
much
you say
as
it.
People give that. That's one of my until like you know until I finished like after season 2 because I didn't really watch anything after. It's good. It's good.
Okay, so. No, okay. What's number 1?
Number 1 is One Piece.
Number 1, One Piece. Yeah. Okay, number 2.
It's hard. I give it to Bleach.
Bleach. Okay. All right. Number 2. Number 2 is Bleach.
Number 3.
Dragon Ball GT.
Super. Super. Okay, we were talking about that.
Super.
A lot.
I was just saying that. Is that your actual number 3?
Super was a phenomenon. Super impacted the world. So let's be real.
Okay,
so
it's hard to say that while Z exists, though.
I feel like Z was great for its time.
I think Z was way more monumental than Super.
Now
far.
People watching the end of Tournament of Power literally in like drive-through like theaters in like Japan.
Sure, but like all those people that were watching
minds.
it were told to watch Super from the people that watched Z. You see, like,
well, yeah, but
Z,
like it's just.
But like, if Z never existed, Super would be trash. Like Super's popularity is because things like the Cell games and Buu Saga and things like that.
It gave us the one thing we've always wanted in any anime series. It's the tournament arc, and like that was just basically a battle royale for all your favorite like Dragon Ball characters.
It's real good.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's bad. I like Super.
Yeah,
but it's hard to say Super is better than Z, in my opinion.
It did have the roughest beginning. In terms of like
Super
like its delivery, it
like,
really
hey,
was
here's
hard.
The movie again. Like,
well, yeah, that didn't help either. Where they were just like, oh, here are 2 great, or here's a movie, here's another movie, and then like here's the anime, and it's just like could have just cut all this out, went straight to like the Universe Survival. Or
I'm sure they use that as time to like write and like get everything straight for the rest of it. But also, if you keep up with the manga of Super,
do you?
Kinda.
I'm pissed. The new chapter is coming out soon.
I'm pissed.
And
I'm so pissed. They did my boy wrong.
Vegeta?
Yeah, they constantly do him wrong.
No, they did him a little justice,
and then immediately threw it out the window.
But that's the thing is like
we might be getting into spoiler territory here, just in case.
So we'll go to the full because like it is pretty good. He did train to do almost be stronger.
He's not wrong.
They did admit to that where Vegeta was at one point a little stronger than him at that point in the manga. So
but it was so short lived. It was literally the one
typical
chapter.
Dragon Ball fashion.
It's bullshit.
It is. No, trust me, I agree. Like, Vegeta needs his moment. But
he needs to win. Literally any other character needs to win. Like at this point, we've had Goku and Gohan. That's it. Those are the only characters that got a W.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me to have such a cast like they do and just not build on them at all.
I mean,
like Piccolo hasn't gotten a W. Like, not one. He's got none. He's power wise compared to them, it's ridiculous. Oh my god, I don't know the way that they treat the other characters is insane. Okay, before all these tier lists go away, let me grab these real quick. Okay, all right.
Those Kingdom Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes, it is pretty good.
Bob City all the way. Are you kidding?
All right, so Mega Wolfie's he only has 4. Oh wait, am I skipping something? I don't want to. Yeah, no. Okay, that was
3-0.
I keep hearing good things about it. Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
I don't know what Konosuba is. I have never heard of that. That's his number 2. Number 3, Sword Art Online. I don't know about that. That's a little.
Honestly, the sub series for the Gun Gale one is actually really good. The PUBG anime.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
Number 4 is Inuyasha.
I never actually have not seen any.
So
of
like
that.
I've seen episodes of Inuyasha, but like it's never been like one of those. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. Mm-hmm. It's always been like, I get the appeal, but it's not for me. Like, yeah, I don't know.
But honestly, to go back to my list, because my number 4 and 5 honestly keep fluctuating, and I want to put some stuff there, and some I just can't because it's just like at the time when I watched it. Sure, that was like number 1 in my head at that point in time, like something like Gurren Lagann, where it's like, yeah, that's top 5 easy. Yeah. But it's like, where is it in my top 5 still now? Maybe it's like downtrending because I haven't watched it in like 8 years or something like that. It's like
I feel like my top 5 is so solidified because I don't watch a lot of new stuff. Like I tune into like the first season, and if it doesn't keep me gripped, I tune out of it.
Because the thing for me is like Naruto is not on my list. And the reason why is because like the only good thing about Naruto, aside from like the ending, was like the first 137 episodes.
Like Naruto,
pure
not
Naruto.
Shippuden.
Yeah, Shippuden was such garbage. It was
really?
And the only reason why I say it's garbage is because it had that same unfortunate tragedy that Bleach had was filler arcs in the middle of it. And some of the filler arcs were longer than the actual canon arcs. And granted, that was the unfortunate like era where like they needed to keep their time slots.
Yeah.
And like they didn't want to like do what One Piece did, where they had the DBZ effect, where the DBZ effect was there was no real filler arcs in DBZ because Toei Animation doesn't really like to do fillers. They'll do filler episodes, here and there. That's why we get like Goku driving a car or Piccolo driving a car.
Yeah,
but like
the backwards
so stuff like that was like cool. It was funny.
Yeah, but
the thing is like that's why you have 5-minute segue screaming sections where like they're powering up, and that's literally just so it's the filler is in
the actual
in the actual episode of canon. Like
One Piece is pretty notorious for that shit
too. They are doing it now because they are stretching their scenes to fit the time slot because whatever time slot they had. Like
when I'm watching it online, I how like you do the thing where you skip past the intro once we have where like you scrub past the intro because like you've seen it already. You want to just get to the story, and then with One Piece you scrub past the intro. And then they're recapping the episode before, and you're like, "Oh, okay, I'll just scrub past that." And you go a little bit further, and they're still recapping the other. You're like
5 minutes in.
What the fuck?
And then the only thing left is like 12 minutes of actual episode content. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But at the cost of there's no outro. One Piece hasn't had an outro since like Daniel, help me out here.
Yeah.
When was the last time One Piece had an outro? It was Connor, if you know too. Like, I feel like it was back in like it was back in like Innis Lobby. I feel like that's when they started it. So that was way back in like I don't even know what year it was because I didn't start catching up to One Piece until after or like during Marineford. Okay. So like that was basically like the end of the pre time skip like was when I was catching up because then I started reading post time skip. And that was really cool to just transition to that right away too.
That sounds
too close.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Well, we are by not necessarily too close to the airport.
It was the high pitched like bomb almost like fucking. I was like, what? For those of you can't hear it, but like, okay, there was a plane flying, but it sounded like
it was like landing on the I-4. Like.
Yeah. I was like, okay, all right, that's what we got going on here. I'm trying to think of.
What are you talking about?
They literally don't.
No, there's like 3-minute intros. Like the openings are like 3 minutes. There's no outro. It has like the banner, but then it has like the recap right away. Yeah. I mean, like in the sense of like there's no like song at the end of One Piece episodes. Is what I was trying to get at.
What are some candidates for 4 and 5? Because I want to get to my list. And I want to get to theirs too.
So one of my favorites that I made people watch. I rewatched it a couple times. Is The Rising of the Shield Hero. Now that's one of my go-tos. Yeah,
pretty good.
I love everything about that series. It's just so like.
I remember it getting a lot of crap for like the way it starts and like.
I thought the first episode was the.
Well, they were talking about like the whole rape thing.
No, wait, that's. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that people.
Oh, dude, I know that.
There were so many articles like written about that, and they were just like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
are you talking about Goblin Slayer?
No.
Oh, well, that too. But
they got articles too, but like it was around the same time too.
Oh, the accusation of
they were what is this message saying to people that like you should take these things seriously? I'm like, it's a show.
Yeah, but this is also something that does happen. Yeah. Accusations do happen.
I remember seeing those articles, and I didn't watch the show because of it. Not because like I was like, yeah, you should. Oh, I'm not even gonna get into that because that's Twitch TOS territory. Yeah. But like, I remember seeing those articles and going like, I'm not trying to get involved in this shit. Mm-hmm. I don't need to. And then I eventually did watch it, and I was like, ooh, this is some good shit. Mm-hmm. I love that show. It's really good. I don't know if it's in my top 5 though. It's really good.
It just for some reason it's just
it does a lot of things right.
Yeah, and it just feels good.
Yeah,
like when you do have that kind of like notoriety or notoriety on you, and then like you change your character around when someone actually sees you are not
the way they wrote the main character in there. god tier. Like that might be one of the best written main characters
I've seen it
because you understand all of his motivation. Like you it's very easy to put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah,
like the way they wrote him was really good.
And then Goblin Slayer is on there too. Goblin Slayer is definitely top 5 for me. Goblin Slayer was such
I have not watched it.
It's such a wow.
Yeah.
It's really wow.
Yeah. I haven't watched it.
Now the issue is like we talked about this at the end of my party, like when it was just like me, Jacob, Daniel, and I don't know if you met Hannah.
Yeah.
So like we were just chilling, and Jacob brought up a very good point where like the only good thing about Goblin Slayer was the initial first episode because of the hype of it. Whereas like it's like the roller coaster that like went up and then now it's just nothing but down. And the thing is like, yeah, I can agree with that.
It started off,
at its peak, and then it went down. But like, I feel like it just slowly kind of. The whole point was that it went up, down, and then went back up. Yeah. So like, it leaves it for potential to have like growth, and it's basically D&D the anime. So if you like D&D and you haven't seen an anime yet, please do.
I have this thing when it comes to any media that I watch. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the follow. Cater Gizmo too. I don't know if I said that earlier, but thank you for the follow. I have this thing when it comes to any media. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't finish watching one of the Mission Impossible movies. I don't know if it's embarrassing to even bring up, but it's something in media that it makes my skin crawl, and it makes me like no longer able to enjoy any part of the movie. It's whenever someone is like someone who's weaker is like physically abused, usually sexually, like any rape scenes and stuff for me. That is a quick way for me to just like be like, ugh, like it's so like it's too. It's not too real, but like, which is weird. When I was younger, I would never think about something like that. But the older I've gotten, the more, I guess, sensitive to that kind of thing I've gotten. I remember watching, I don't remember which Mission Impossible it was, but it was the one where basically the chick had to sleep with this guy so they could get like intel and stuff or whatever with him, and like she just had to be with him for a really long period of time. And there was something about that just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was just like, that's what kept me away from Goblin Slayer. So I was like,
I guess it's the norm, like the fact that like that could be something that does happen. I guess.
Yeah, maybe
like,
I don't.
Or how common it is, or how like easy it is to like write that in. You know, like
I don't know if that's exact. It's just it's something about that just like it turns off any media to me. You know what? And actually, now I think about it, in books, it doesn't do that to me. I can go through a book and like scenes like that, not that big of a deal. It's only in like anime or manga or like movies, and it's like where it's visually seen. There's something about it that like strikes a chord to me personally. I'm just like, yeah. And what's even crazier about this is I've never been sexually assaulted. Like I don't know what that's like, but seeing it visually, something about that to me is just like, it just, I don't know. It weirds me out. But I want to watch Goblin Slayer because I've heard nothing but good things, but I feel like those good things have some part to do with that. So.
No, and honestly, that's like, well, unfortunately, it's like
it's a major.
It's like one of the tactics the goblins use to like use them as like meat shields and stuff like that. But like in terms of like them being like sexual assaulted, it's more of like that initial episode, and then like it's implied in other like episodes. But like that's like where you really see like the about it, and it's like
I don't know, man. I even like regular sex scenes like are kind of odd, and when I sit down and watch like an anime or like any show, I guess like movies are kind of okay. I'm better with it, but I don't know. There's porn for that. I can just go watch porn. Like I'll just watch. I'm going into that with the mindset of like I want to see two people fuck. Like that's what. But like I'm trying to remember what movie or what anime it was where there was like bunny. Oh, it was Rise of the Shield Hero, I think. Where that was that the animal? Yeah. It was Rise of the Shield Hero, where they had those like I forget, like what are the half human, the demi humans?
The demi-humans, yeah.
Yeah, the guy had like this rabbit girl as like a slave, and is just like fucking her, and like I think that happened in that scene, or like
I think it was implied.
Yeah, and I was just like, the fuck are we like? What like? I get it, they're telling their story or whatever, but like it's so jarring to me. I should have my sound alert activated, but I won't. I'll have sound in my podcast, and it'll be very jarring for people who are just listening to it.
Oh, Devilman!
It's activated in my normal streams for sure.
Devilman was one of those ones where it's like
I haven't seen Devilman either.
It visually is different.
Yeah. I've seen clips and stuff of it, so I know what it looks like, and I kind of know the premise.
That's a twisted one though. Yeah. That definitely has like, I guess, like in terms of like if you were to visually more exaggerated see like those kind of things like sin and stuff, like that is like they paint that image very vividly. Like
so like I guess I'll rifle through mine real quick.
Yeah.
Top one, easy.
One Piece. Yeah.
Code Geass.
Oh, Code Geass.
Easy. I've said this many times, but people know it.
Oh, so how'd you feel about like when they did the Chrono Clash expansion for like it wasn't Code Geass?
It was supposed to be, but it's Evangelion is the most recent one. Yeah. Also haven't seen that shit. It's old and it's a classic and people love it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, Code Geass, easy, number one. Like it's hard to compete. I'd say Death Note might be a number two. People
Death Note's great.
Like
Death Note is such a
like that kind of anime. Like that kind of like where it's not superpowers and stuff. Superpower stuff is good. I like that stuff. But like thinking man's anime. I love that shit.
So we were talking about that at work too. And the thing with like Sword Art and Death Note, like some people like that those are usually like the intro ones or FMA even. So I recommended to Corey, I don't know if he's on here, but I told him to watch Erased. Have you seen Erased?
I've heard of it.
It is that if you want a good thinking man one that's like similar to Death Note, that one. It's only 12 episodes, and it's honestly Daniel put me on it, and I'm just like, where has this been my whole life? Like this is so good.
I need because somebody compared it to No Game No Life. Okay. Yeah. That's my number 3, by the way. Yeah. Now I'm at the same point where you're at 4 and 5.
It literally is just like whatever is currently trending in your head.
Yeah. So that ends up being the 4 or 5 spot.
So like that's the thing is like I didn't mention other stuff that I can't really think of right now, but I don't know. I love series like Rosario Plus Vampire and like High School DxD. Where like I like the comedy of it and like the that's more of like the fantasy of like damn like I wish I was a monster in a Monster Academy or like or like I wish I was like
or high school My Hero. That was what I was.
Oh, My Hero too. So wow, I can't believe I didn't even put that on my top 5. But like the issue with that is like initially didn't like My Hero. I didn't like I guess the concept of it, and I feel like it's only because that was when like the superhero hype was trending.
What do you mean what do you mean by the concept of it?
So in a sense of like it's another superhero thing where we already had the Marvel universe blowing up. We had DC coming out with movies and heroes, and like if I wanted my hero fix, I just go to that. Like why do I need to watch an anime that has a hero fix? Okay. Like I don't go to my animes to watch hero stuff. But then again, it's like I take that back now because I love My Hero, but but in the sense of like that's why it did click to me to say that's top 5 because like it is obviously replacing the big 3 because Boruto's nothing against Boruto. I already have my Naruto fix. I don't need more. I don't need more.
I think we'd be hard pressed to find a Boruto fan in chat right now.
They're there. Where's Connor? Where is he?
What?
He's there. Connor's there.
What?
Connor's one of them. He's a big old Boruto fan. It's only because like it's just Naruto 2.0.
But it's not though.
It's not.
It's
no.
bad. Like I feel
it's getting better. There's some things that like that like you need to hold on to it.
So I read the manga. I keep up with the manga because like the manga at least.
I dropped it. I couldn't.
So the anime is pretty trash because they're in this long
same
filler thing, and then they decide to like, oh, not just filler. We're gonna not follow the manga. So like the anime
go back to the past. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care about that at all. Like,
no, he's there. He's
still there.
Yeah.
But the manga at least is like it's the same pace as like Naruto Shippuden. Like there's always something important going on.
Mm-hmm.
Although they only released them monthly, which is
that's why I dropped it because like I was waiting so long and
it's literally once a month you get.
But isn't it like only like 20 pages or some shit?
Yeah,
like,
it's not even like a long way for
monthlies
a payoff.
Back then used to be like 35 pages.
I guess Dragon Ball Super kind of is monthly too, but
it is
get more.
Yeah.
They're longer story or longer chapters, but yeah, I don't know.
What else is out there that like I can just think of?
I think
right away.
So what? Angel Beats is somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to be said for good feels anime, like a good like there's not almost like no action. It's just all like the story is good.
I guess one of those could be like Elfen Lied
I've never seen that either, but I've heard about it. Yeah, that's
when Netflix, was starting to get their animes. That was like one of the ones that was like on there. The same thing with like High School of the Dead and like a bunch of other ones.
Zen explained that perfectly. An anime that leaves you empty. That is a very good way to describe it.
And the manga does not help because it's only worse. And the reason why we didn't get a season 2 of that is because of what's in the manga.
Oh, and Angel Beats?
No, High School of the Dead.
Oh, High School of the Dead.
So the thing with that is like they obviously when you throw in necrophilia, can't animate that.
Yeah. Call it a high school. These are kids. Necrophilia. Go ahead and put those together. Yeah, we can ship that, right? We'll sell that in North America, no problem.
Nope.
That's insane.
Big nope. Hard nope.
Man. Man, what was the?
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
That's unfortunate.
Wow. There was another one that I thought of, and it left me already, and I'm upset now.
One I watched recently that could wiggle its way onto at least top 10.
One Punch Man. That's easy 4 or 5. One in there.
Season 1 is good.
2's good too.
I read it.
Oh, you read One Punch?
Yeah, I'm not caught up, but I'm at the point where they're like ending not to spoil it, but they're trying to rescue.
At this point, I don't think if you have
One Punch.
Yeah, it's been out for like forever. Season 2?
No, I'm talking about like actual manga stuff. Like,
okay. You're way ahead.
Are you?
No,
okay. I won't say anything. Okay. They're rescuing someone in the current arc.
Okay.
Or I don't know if it's current. It's been like a good year since
I don't know why I haven't read the manga.
And honestly, I started reading the manga before the anime came out, and I was like pleasantly surprised of how good that was. I said the same thing everyone else said. Why the hell do I want to read something called One Punch Man? He's gonna one shot everything.
So no, it's not. So the thing is with that show in particular, most of the time, usually the way I consume that kind of stuff, I watch the anime until the end of the season, and then I'm impatient to wait for the next season, and I just read the manga.
Yeah,
I did that with 7 Deadly Sins, which is good, but not in my top 5. It's good, but not top 5.
That's a good anime.
We're talking about characters. It has like my favorite character. Escanor is by far my favorite.
Yeah, he's
just so good.
Broken character, like, broken for no reason.
Yeah, easy top 5 character, but Mob Psycho's pretty good too.
I haven't seen Mob Psycho.
It's really good. If you like One Punch, you definitely like that. Right. But with One Punch in particular, the whole premise of the show is that it's a trope on the entire like shonen genre. So like I feel like if I read the manga, I don't know if it would hit as hard. Like I don't know if I'd laugh as much reading it as I do when I see it. I don't know. I probably will just bite the bullet and start reading it. That's just what I normally do anyway.
Now, what about the anime that isn't an anime? Last Airbender and like Korra and stuff like that.
Dude,
are we categorizing those as anime or just American cartoons?
If we are categorizing them as anime, One Punch Man is my number 4. That The Last Airbender is number 5, in my opinion, and The Legend of Korra is not even remotely close to my top 5.
That's fair.
You can love it, you can like it, but to me, the first one is so good, and the second one let that series down, in my opinion.
And it really, season 3 tried to pick it back up, and then season 4 is just literally trying.
I don't know.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
That's so good. Fuck. Okay, so who is this? Hannah Thanos? Yeah, Overly Cautious Hero. If you like Shield Hero, watch that. Have you seen that?
I haven't. Oh, you know what's also
so good.
Like one of those gems that like I really didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. The time where I was reincarnated as the slime.
Oh yeah.
Slime is
that one's really
good.
Really, all 3 of those are very similar, but they're all really good. Right? It's like
I just gotta like sit down, and I haven't really been on like an anime binge in a while because like I've just been watching a lot of like actual shows like TV Netflix shows, and it's just like
I'm playing a lot of video games.
I play a lot of Destiny, and it's the only video game I have time to play between work and all this other stuff.
So sad.
Okay. We gotta talk about video games. D2. You know what? You know what's a good question Corey asked on Sunday for Sunday Crew? What is like your highest rank in terms of like video games? Like, you know,
what did you get the highest rank in a game, or like
or like what's your biggest like achievement in like a video game? And I was talking to Daniel about it. I have like 2 that I have like I can like brag about that I feel like nice bragging about.
Ooh. Okay, what are yours? Because I have some, but I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how. How to rank.
Okay, so here, so like for me, this is one of the examples that like I'm. Do you remember when Gears 3 came out? Like, I don't know if you were a Gears fan or anything.
I'm not a Gears fan, but I remember where Gears 3 came out.
So that was like the beginning of like my college year, like when I first went to college, and like that was when I was like in my, do I go to college, do I go find a job, or do I like just not do anything, just play video games? That wasn't an option, but like that's what I wound up doing. And one of those, it was coming out when the Gears beta was out, and they had like the channel on like Xbox Live called Insider Moves, and they had a competition to where like if you took a picture of your KD and your win loss, you can like be mentioned in there. And I had like a 2.1 win loss and like a 2.6 KD, and I put it on there, and sure enough, bam. Saw my gamer tag tweeter on there, and like hey,
it's your boy.
Bro, as soon as that happened, messages left and right.
Really?
People saying, "Oh, congratulations!" Like, "Oh, wow, hey, like I want to play with you. Can you join us?" I'm like, "Hey, can you train me?" I'm like, "Dude, damn!" I was good at Gears, but I wasn't that good to where like I was like MLG level, like keep going in like
you'll get this dude on our
clan
team.
Battles and stuff. Like, you know, I understood it enough to where like I'm good, but like not great, like not like pro level. And now I'm garbage. But Gears 5 is fun, but like it's just not the same. It's just, you know, it's like Halo, you know, it changed so much from what it was then. Even Gears 3, I didn't like Gears 3 when it first came out because it was just like it catered to casuals. And the thing is, when a game caters to casuals, it loses
its
itself.
Skill ceiling becomes like here, and it's
unless you're already up there. And
man, that's such a weird question for me. Part of me wants to say Super Smash Bros. Tournaments that I won.
Is Fabi getting off? All right. Oh no, it was the next day too.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, we should probably get to a point here, but I think there's a couple moments that come to mind. The first one that came to mind was like the couple Smash Bros. Tournaments that I've won. Those I'm like, okay, so like especially doing that in Florida, that's a big deal. Like Florida has like literally some of the best players live here. Like it's insane. So winning those are kind of a big deal. Granted, some of the competition at the ones that I won, not as insane as the people that live here, but it still feels good. This is old, and I doubt many people in chat will remember this. But back before we had Wildlands and Breakpoint as Ghost Recon games, they were actual good Ghost Recon games, like on the PS2. Advanced Warfighter.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I remember joining a clan and being the number 3 clan for that game and grinding clan battles.
See, I didn't play Ghost Recon, but I played a lot of Rainbow Six.
Dude, I missed those games, dude.
Vegas was
all
insane.
of those Rainbow. Dude, I had the Game Boy Rainbow Six game where you like planned out your path and stuff. I miss. Oh, dude, my little Game Boy Color that somebody stole at a fucking car dealership when my mom took the car there to get repaired, and I left my Game Boy Color. I had a teal Game Boy Color, and they fucking yoinked that shit. But yeah, I remember putting in so much time. I remember being at school, and when I should have been paying attention in class, I was literally drawing out maps and like routes and stuff, and like just not paying attention at all. Yeah, like literally like. And then I'd get home and I'd message all my like the people in the clan and be like, "Yo, all right, come on, I have this like strat to try out," and we would get on there. And oh man, god damn it, I miss it, dude. How do you feel about Infinity Crisis? I didn't really get into that. Do you remember that? It was a DC MOBA. DC had a MOBA, and it existed and then immediately died.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's almost as like, did it last as long as like, or longer than like Battleborn or like, what was that PS4 one that was out?
Paragon,
yeah.
Dude, I'm so sad. Paragon, boy.
Overwatch like stomped fucking all those dreams.
F's in chat for Paragon. That game was so good.
It looked really good. Like I had a PS4 at the time, and I wanted to play it so bad. And I was just like, well, no, I can't.
I spent like $40 to get into the alpha of that game, and I grinded the shit out of Paragon. Paragon was so good. I say that. There's actually a game called Fault that they literally got the rights to all the assets from that game, and they just launched it on Steam not that long ago. I saw like the trailer for it, so maybe it makes a comeback, hopefully.
And then I guess like the only other one that I can like brag about, because only like out of 9 million people, only 9,000 people got this weapon the right way. And in Destiny 2 in Season 3
there's so many exploits,
is the weapon called the Redrix's Claymore. Now the only way to get this weapon was when you played during Season 3, they added comp basically. So I don't know if you remember, like, did you play Halo 3 or any Halos? So you know how the ranking system is, like you accumulate points and that's how you're in the rank, but if you lost points. That's how Destiny's comp is. You know, they're old Bungie boys. So
yeah, they were like, hey, let's do it again.
So for this competition, it was basically just like you earn points on a win streak, but you also lost points equal to a loss streak.
If you go on a win streak, you earn points.
So like you can have up to a 5 win streak. Okay. And you earn like 50 points, then they go to like 100, 150.
But if you lose,
as you progress rank, you earn less points. But on your loss streaks, they stood the same. So it would be literally as if you were starting further back the more you lost, even if you won more games. So it was, the whole goal was to get to 2100. And I'll show you. I got the proof. I'll show you the stat. So like that's the stat right here. Is
according to Bungie, only 8,750 players claim the Redrix Claymore Pulse Rifle. That's insane.
So basically 0.9% of people got it. And the only proof to say that you got it the right way, I'll pull it up, is an emblem they gave you during Season 4 that you can get the what's called Registrix Broadsword. That is the gimme, here you go, people that couldn't get it the right way. But like you had to do a whole grind session for that. Is this that emblem where my hunter has? That is the Redrix's emblem that like you can get.
This is the
on the hunter. Yeah, that's that's proof that I have the weapon. I can show the weapon too.
The receipts. as they call them.
The vault. Where is it? Pulse rifles.
I got people.
Yep, right there.
That's dope, dude.
Wait, in my head it was an actual claymore.
Oh, so that's the joke. It's a reference to like a sword. So yeah,
it's funny. There it is, the proof.
That was not easy to get because it required a lot of typical matchmaking people and like trying to find right people for this to be that synergized to
for
like
sure a conversation for another podcast because I want I found this, especially with this Rogue Company game that I've been grinding the last couple of days. Now that's fucking India. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to stream it after this now because it's kind of late, but I really want to stream it, dude. I love this game. But it's weird. Like I remember a time where I was excited for both single player and multiplayer games. Mm-hmm. And now when multiplayer games come out, I'm just like, oh no.
Here's another one.
Yeah, I have to, I want to play it and I enjoy it, but the fact that I have to play it with random people, it kills me. It's just like, ugh.
Because it's so hard now because like how indie games, AAA games are like so trying to reach the same thing or be the same thing. Yeah. Where like people don't have time to all be in sync on the same game. It's so like I've been trying to recruit people, play Destiny again.
That's why I end up buying so many copies of games. Like anytime I find a game that I really enjoy, I probably, especially indie games. I'm not necessarily do it for $60 games, but like a game that's like $30 or less, like $40 or less, I'll buy like 2 or 3 copies of the game because like it's one of those things where it's like I really enjoy this game. I think you will also enjoy this game, but also I don't want you to risk your money if it doesn't. So like here you go, try it out.
Yeah,
and if you like it, awesome. If you don't, oh well, it sucks. But
for me though, like when like I was more on console gaming because now I switched over to PC mainly because playing Destiny 2 on PC, I'll never go back to console until the new next gen console where it's not necessarily the same, but like it's just easier to play.
Were you playing on Xbox?
Yeah.
Dude, you're not going back to console.
No, I know. I'm not.
You know why you're not going back to console? Because you don't have to. Because they're going to release everything on PC.
I know, but like, there's people that just play more on console because it's just, ironically enough, easier to.
Does it have crossplay?
No, it has. That's the issue.
Save.
It has. So you can play wherever, and your profile saves the data. But like the issue is like I can't play PC with my Xbox buddies yet until they hit the crossplay button.
Yeah.
I just need Bungie to just hit that crossplay button, and I don't care. But like, it's so hard to gather people on PC as opposed to just on a console. Where
it's way harder.
Party systems on consoles are just so much smarter now to
I
find
think
people
the problem is people on consoles have less options than people on PC.
Yeah,
there's way more games for people to play. So it's hard to like get people to play the same thing when everybody's like, oh, I'm finishing this indie game that I picked up. I'm like, okay, but this.
And my other point about that too is like I used to only want to play games that had some kind of progression, and in that mean like on terms of like achievements.
Yeah,
I could not play a game that I completed all the achievements after, even if it had multiplayer. Unless it did have really good multiplayer, then I would play the multiplayer. But like,
I never got into achievements, man. I don't know what it was.
Like Halo got all the achievements twice. I just Halo 3 twice.
There was something about it that at a certain point, especially Halo might have been the thing that like turned me off of it because it was like, all right, do with all the skulls. You know, I was like, I don't.
Well,
this doesn't seem fun at all. Like
the ones that like the multiplayer ones that they used to have for like Halo 3. I remember it used to be the death of me. Like you had to like have the Spartan laser, have someone riding a mongoose, and you had a Spartan laser then off the mongoose or some shit. And it was just like no one does this. Nobody drives a mongoose. Like you had to literally farm that thing. Like bribe someone. Hey, do this for me so I can do it for you.
We're gonna play for 5 hours. We're gonna try to see if we can get Kyle his achievement, and then tomorrow it's gonna be Sam's turn. Like, hopefully we can get it. We'll just keep it on rotation.
I forgot what other like nonsensical achievements we used to have, and it was just like that was like the biggest one that just like irritated me because it just you had to pray to God someone decided to drive that mongoose.
Like, please, can you do this? I need this achievement, dude. You see the dude just like nod and then run off and like grab a warthog or something. You're like, come on, man. Like. I guess the last comment we'll read here. I was number 1 on Coheed and Cambria's Welcome Home, the first rock band for like 3 months. Myself and 3 other people doing a full band. I had to plan out when to start buying shit for max points. I remember being in college, and one of my friends that I met at the card shop that I was, like near the college I was going to, he was so good at singing that song. You know that song, right? Welcome Home.
I gotta hear it. To be completely honest, I'm very.
I'm gonna play a small piece of it because DMCA is the thing. Fucking, I'll get the strike and it'll be a bad time for Joe. When you hear this man's voice and the fact that, wait a minute, were you the vocals on it, Dave? Because if you were, I need to hear that. And once you hear what the song sounds like, you'll be like, no fucking way did David sing this song. Okay, hold on. I want to get to the vocals.
Oh, it sounds like power metal. That's what I thought it was. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's this high pitch, like powerful, like vocals, and I'm like, I couldn't do that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Like no one can just naturally do that voice.
Yeah, that's
like the guy we had that did that, I was just like, it was super weird because like the first time he was like, yo, I love this song, and then like he had a pretty deep voice, like normal talking, and then he was like, wow. I was like, all right, man. Like, but it was pretty cool. I miss those. I know you have that shit set up at your place.
We finally calibrated it to the new TV. We actually did not play it yet until like Josh came over a couple days ago for his birthday. So
dope. Maybe we do that.
Ooh.
Maybe we do that Sunday.
Ooh, where? Here or there?
Over there.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah. That'd be dope.
We would need a computer, obviously.
Yeah.
You guys have one set up in your living room, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Like easy.
Yeah.
It sounds fun. Maybe we're hinting at something for the future. and with that, we'll call it
slash board game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Do you have anything you want to shout out at all, or?
No. Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun. Like, this is I don't know why I was like prolonging it.
It's fun.
I was until because I needed some like weight, but now I just realized like we didn't even go to fully everything we did want.
No, you never do. You never get a chance to
segue into the writing part. But you think on it because I'm a little still shy about that.
Hey, well, that's the next time. That's one of the things that I like about like. I'm gonna say this and hopefully nobody takes offense to it, but like really good guests, I almost always am anticipating the next one because there was something we didn't get to on the first one. So like, yeah, it's fun. I don't know. And
you can always just ask Joe to get on. He's always
anybody can get on. You can shoot me a message. I at this point I have a backlog of people now, which is a good problem to have, to be honest. But yeah, hashtag Joe hates all his guests. I really do. I bring them on.
It took us really easy to set up a time date because normally that's what you do. Is that like setting up the time and date for people.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to do it today, and they're like, okay. Like I love that. That makes my life so much. You have no idea. Every time I'm like, hey, you want to come on the podcast? There's a specific person. I'm not gonna name her name. But she exists and she knows that I'm talking about her because I always tell either her or somebody she knows, like, hey, who was like, yeah, let's do the podcast. And then crickets. Like, and
I think I remember.
Yeah.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Great person. Love her to death. But also, I hate that. Anyway, I just don't know what I would talk about. Neither did he.
Yeah.
And like I don't even know how long we've been going, like 2.5 hours, something like probably more than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually.
I got here at like 10.
Yeah.
I think we started finally at like 10.
Yeah, like so.
Do you have 2.5 hours?
I might stream for like another hour after you leave.
That's fair, yeah.
I just want to play the game. I want it. It's so much fun.
I'm gonna grind some Destiny when I go. So yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching. I don't really have like an outro or anything like that. I probably.
I think you need to like work. Like there we go. The outro.
So like, this is also a little cringy, but like I love the Joe Rogan podcast, and I would like for my beginnings and ends to flow that way because I really like how that is. It's very much just a conversation he has with some other person. It's not an interview. I like that. He doesn't have outro. He doesn't have intro. It's just like boom, we're talking. And I like that. It would be a lot easier to do if I had a producer. It would be so much easier to do because we could just start talking and then like they could just handle the live part and like camera switching and all that stuff. But I don't believe in having somebody do that for free. So I would have to pay them some amount. And I don't know what amount's fair.
Well, I mean, they could also look at it as like experience for that. Like, and, you know, and that's the thing is like, let's say like because like I've been thinking about switching my major and stuff like that. I was thinking of like doing some kind of production, and I'm just like, this would be nice if I can just have a practice stage.
The cool thing
an
is
internship. Yeah,
like the whole thing that I do here from my phone, that's not ideal. Like, that person would be in my room, handling all that stuff from there. And I have it set up for that because my brother was doing it for the first couple episodes, and then I was like, "This isn't like if I was in his shoes and didn't want to, like, if that wasn't like something you wanted to go to school for, or like something you were interested in, it's probably boring. Like, because you're essentially listening and watching two other people have a really fun time and like have a conversation.
Yeah, you're just in the office, like sipping coffee and like
so like if you're not into that, it's probably a nightmare. But maybe hopefully I can find somebody who'd be down to do that. But the other side to that is that means that is a third cog in the wheel that I would have to like schedule times and stuff for.
Yeah.
Like, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got, man. This has been fun.
Yep.
It has. I'll do my best to get this up as quickly as I possibly can for those of you who are listening on YouTube and Spotify and whatnot. But we'll call it a night. And I want to stream. I don't want to promise it though. But I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and peace.